the one thing I love about actors, all like, whether they realize it or not, whether they just started yesterday or whether they've been doing it for years, there's an idea that they have about a scene when they first read it.
Yeah.
It lives, it's there. The first time they read it, there's something that they think about that scene. And it is normally to do with us.
Yes.
Normally, it is what can I bring to this scene? I think true, like, skill is like, okay, we acknowledge that. Like, now I know when I think that when I first read it, I get the best ideas for my character. I write down my first thoughts sometimes. Cause like my first time reading it, I get the most.
Yeah.
Cause then my brain goes from personal, like, okay, this is Patrick reading TJ. Then it's like, okay, what's the script about? Then those ideas that I had at first can get drowned out as to what the big picture is.
Yeah.
And then I sometimes have to go back and remember those little moments, because then I go, oh, this makes the scene even more special.
Yes.
So you got to maybe not bring all 5 of those, but bring one of those in, and it'll work in terms of the overall picture.
Yeah.
And like what I have.
And it's like it makes the thing holistically better.
Yes.
And more of what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like our job is to make the story more the story,
Yes.
not to make the story more us. Welcome back to the DNA podcast. I am your host, Douglas Nyback. The DNA in this podcast stands for Douglas Nyback Acting, but I like to think of the podcast as this place where we learn what artists and industry professionals are made of, sort of the foundations of who we are and how folks do things. If you're new here to the pod, which you might be because we've been growing a little bit, which is super wonderful, we essentially chat with actors and artists and people within the film and television industry who are really successful and also really still in the grind of it all. There's a lot of acting podcasts out there where it's just like famous people saying that the moment they stopped caring was the moment that everything, you know, started working for them. And there's a lot of correlation, maybe it does not actually equal causation type stuff. And so this is really all about like practical, in the trenches stories and learning, and it is very cool. And today we have a very cool guest. His name is Patrick Walker. I'm on the same show as him, Doc on Fox. Patrick is one of the stars of Doc on Fox, and he's also one of the stars of Lessons in Chemistry for Apple TV, along with like a myriad of other incredible credits. This guy is, listen, Patrick, in addition to being a friend and coworker of mine, Patrick is an actor and a half, man. This guy is so good at it. And every time I get a chance to work with him, I am enraptured by the way that he works, his presence on set. Like, we get into it, but like pretty out of the gate. But he is an incredibly kind person. He's thoughtful. He's charismatic. He's energetic. He brings such vibrance and joy to set. He raises everybody up the second that he steps on set. He's incredibly hardworking, relentlessly creative. He's a really, really cool guy to talk to, and I was really looking forward to this. He's the first of hopefully what will end up being many of the Doc folks who will come on the podcast, and it really did mean the world to me because he's so passionate about acting. Getting to talk to somebody who's this passionate is, in any circumstance, just an absolute boon and blessing. And then in addition to that, the fact that I work with him and consider him, a friend and colleague, that is just a double bonus. So to get to know him better in this way after spending so much time on set with him, it's like, this episode is really unique and special. And I think it's coinciding with the season finale of Doc coming out, which is so cool. It's either coming out right as this episode is dropping or right before, which is super cool. So if you're new here and you're a Doc fan and you're finding this, like, welcome, thank you. And very quickly before we dive into the main podcast, I just want to quickly say thank you to a couple of our sponsors on the show, partners of the podcast. Fancy Face Makeup, who provide a gift bag for everybody who comes on the show. Patrick got one. Fancy Face is run by an actor named Brittany Gray, who's a client and friend of mine. She makes incredible makeup and skincare products. She's in the trenches as an actor, and she's spent 2 decades of her life creating this brand that is built around dancers and actors and artists, and she's so passionate about helping artists look and translate the best way they possibly can. So she's super cool. Check out her stuff. Discount links and everything more about her later in the show, but everything is in the doobly-doo. As well as Othership, which is contrast therapy. It's based out of Toronto and New York. It's a sauna cold plunge place where I'm going to later today. I go every week. I friggin' love them. The resilience buildup / also just relaxation and mindfulness that comes with the sauna cold plunge and meditation, and the way they do it is so unique. So more about them. Super psyched. If you have not already and you're here, please please like and subscribe. Favorite if you really like this one. This podcast is growing wherever you find us, whether it's YouTube or it's on Spotify or Apple or whatever. We're reaching more and more ears and eyeballs every episode, and this is a really special one. So I hope you find it as special as I did, and I hope that afterwards you're like, I like these guys. I'm gonna subscribe. I'm gonna just do a little subscribe. And anyway, let's get into the friggin' show. First off, I kind of want to just thank you for being here. You're the first person from Doc that we've had on the pod, and I got to tell you, the first time I met you, it's rare to meet somebody in the industry who's so genuinely kind, and who pays attention to details about everybody. So like season 1, you came up to me and you're often going and watching monitor, and you're often like when you're not on set acting, you're often like going to like learn about everything, and you really pay attention to everybody's performance styles. And you gave me this compliment where I think you compared me to Robert Downey Jr. just my mannerisms. And I was like, no way this dude's this nice. And then now that I've worked with you for a couple of years, your kindness, like you come to set and you psych everybody up, like you're so genuinely happy to be there, and you bring such a wonderful energy, but also you're so freaking passionate about everything around filmmaking. Yeah. And I gotta say, I just admire the shit out of it.
Oh, thank you, man.
Like it's really cool.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm every time I get to work with you or I see that we're in the same scene, I'm just like really, really grateful. So
that's how you start an interview right there. He's like, I didn't even start yet. That was just the beginning.
Well, it's easy. It's easy to like wish good things for you. And I like anytime we get to share the screen, I'm like, I know something cool is going to happen because you're just so engaged, and it's great. So if you're ever having a day where you're feeling down, just know that like I think there's a lot of people that really appreciate your presence and energy, man. Yeah. So yeah, it's
thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Truly.
That's nice, isn't it? That's a good way to start, isn't it? It's very kind.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about
this. That's why I love Canada, because people are nice.
Yeah.
America, they'll be like, yeah, Pat, thanks for being here. So let's get into the dirt.
Yeah, let's talk about
doing
what's the worst thing you've ever done.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I think that there's a lot of people in this industry that like I don't think we spend enough time telling people like the actual things that we admire about them.
Sure.
And that's one of the reasons why I really like this podcast. So anyway, not that the whole podcast is just going to be me saying nice things about you, but speaking about how passionate you freaking are about this, we were talking a little bit about this yesterday in our ride home, and I was like, I got to stop asking Patrick questions. We're going to freaking do this podcast. But how did you become so friggin' passionate about this? I know some of these answers, but I'm curious to get you.
That's a really specific question. How did you become so passionate? I like that. I think like hard work is like, I watched my mom my whole life be really, really hardworking, always. To this day, she is somebody who goes to work and will stay late and is always really engaged in what she's doing. And she always has cared about what she's doing, no matter what it was. She always gave time to it and more time. So I think watching somebody devote their energy to something that they were doing, I think I picked up from that very early on. So I think everything that I've done, it's always been with this sense of passion and care if I really, really care about it. Just because I feel like, I think just the way you show up is the way you are. It's funny, yesterday on set, I don't know if you heard, but they were playing the Allen Iverson interview. Practice?
Yeah.
Practice? What we talking about? Practice? And I just am the opposite. Like I believe in practice. I believe in just like every moment is building up for something, or every little thing that you do is building up. So I think to answer your question about passion, I think that comes from God, number one for me. And I think just watching like having a passionate family has been like very, very key. And also like I love what we do. So anything that you love, I think if you just really devote your time and energy and your thoughts into it, that I think if you're passionate enough for long enough, then there'll be one day we could kind of just chill and then the thing will keep working for you. So,
right.
Yeah. But I think passion is like, I think heavily, I do think it's God-given, because I think a lot of people are just so boring about stuff. Like, they don't really care. It's like, I'll do this for a little bit, then I'll bounce to do something else. Or, oh, this isn't working for me, so I'm going to quit and go do something else. But I think it feels good to do something and know that inside of you that I am meant to be doing this thing, and I'll give everything to it.
Yeah, I think a lot about purpose, and because the life of an actor can be wonderful. You and I are both lucky enough right now to be on a show that went from 10 eps to 22. We've got season 3 coming, so we have some element of stability, which I'm sure we'll get into, because that is I think it's a really good problem to have, but it also creates its own challenges. But one thing I think about when my life is uncertain, and I don't know where the next gig is coming from, or I feel like I'm really grinding, or I'm really tired and I don't want to, and I think about, ever since I was like 12 years old, I have known what I want to do and why.
Oh, nice.
And I think a lot of people go their entire lives without knowing that thing.
Yeah.
And so you were talking about like that coming from God, and it's like, to me, that feels really like it's a blessing beyond anything. We were talking a little bit about this, but it's like beyond money, beyond influence, beyond fame, just to simply know the reason why I'm on this planet.
Yeah.
And it becomes a lighthouse that allows me to navigate the storm of life. And I feel like there's no day where I'm like not grateful for that. And so I totally agree that's a real blessing to have that.
Yeah. It's like so many people don't know. It's always heartbreaking to me to hear when people don't exactly know where to go or what to do. And it just feels like inside of us, I feel like that hopefully there's something that we all enjoy or that we all love. On set, our gaffer, he loves birds. He loves, they have like a bird, like they do bird trivia every day in Video Village. Every day they do bird trivia. So there's different birds and they talk about them every single day. They have like a thing they press play and you hear different bird sounds and calls from it. And his love for birds inspired me so much. I wrote something with that in the project I'm working on, because like he loves it. He like takes photos of birds. Yeah. But I go, if he did nothing with film, he would be taking pictures of birds, and it's some of the most amazing photography you would ever see of birds, because he cares that much about like how they are, how they operate, and just capturing them doing whatever they're doing. But I mean, hopefully I feel like, I feel that everyone has something that they really love or care about. Even that's why I just love mothers, like the love that that mothers have for their children, and like how it just, I even think that is like it's its own it's its own thing, and it's, I don't know, man, I'm going on a tangent, but like,
well, that's what a podcast is for, dude. It's great
to love something. I think is really special, and I always lead people that direction. Like, oh, like Patrick, what do I do? Like, I don't know where I'm going in life. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm passionate about. It's like, okay, what do you enjoy? What do you feel called to, or what do you feel like lights you up when you talk about it? Whether it be art, whether it be cooking, whether it be washing dishes. There's something in that dishwashing that could be effective somewhere if you can find it. So
yeah, you never know where your passion is going to manifest.
Right.
Like pull the thread, and you don't know where life is going to take you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This is also what I'm talking about with you and the way that you live your life. Like, have you always been this fascinated by people? Like, cause you noticing that, taking the time out. Like, I try to be that guy, and I'm not as good at being that guy as you are. Like, is this something that, cause it feels to me like it's almost like I watch you, hopefully not in a creepy way, but I watch you like seeing people and their behavior, and you're like a kid at a buffet. You're like, nom, 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 nom. And you're just like, where did that come from? Have you always been this fascinated by people?
Well, growing up, I'll take it back.
take me all the way back.
Way on back. No, so growing up, my uncle, who passed away a few years ago, he was my spiritual father. He was my pastor. And his life was based on the care for people. Not just because like he has to preach to them every week, but there was a real genuine care that he had for everybody.
Yeah.
And with that, I watched it on a weekly basis and went, okay, this is how you treat people. This is how you support people, and like this is how you take care of one another. And I'm from the South, from Florida.
Yeah.
So with that, I think that like people have always been really important in and also like our set, like those people on Doc every Tuesday night on Fox Global in Canada.
That's right. That's right.
But all those people, like their energy affects the space in some way.
Yeah.
And I think so many people come to work, and whether your job be the director for the episode or if you're just moving things around, if you work in locations, all those jobs are important. And there are moments where I think people can feel small, and I just feel like if I can contribute in any way to know everybody's name, then at least they know it's not just them coming to work. It's you and me. We together.
Right.
Like, now you got a buddy at work, and like this is real. This is genuine. I know about your life. You know a little something about mine.
Yeah.
And like there feels like people can always be lifted up by a hello each day.
Yeah.
So I think building that from the very beginning to now, I think that's when your presence in anything that anybody does is effective, when you've proven yourself over time to actually care. Because I think anybody comes in, hey, what's up? And then keep moving. And then they never talk to you again. But to do it every day. Hey, good morning. Hey, how your kids doing? Hey, how your mama doing? Hey, how was that concert? You went, like the folks who work in catering.
Yes.
One of the guys went to a concert last week on Friday. And he told me about it on Monday. Hey, how was the concert? How did it go? But just really caring, then watching him light up, talk about his concert and about bands, and he loves bands. He wanted to be in a band when he was young, and he listed his band. But it's just like those moments. I think it just makes people's day just a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
So just from actually caring about one another. But I think that's from my family.
Sorry to hear about your uncle's passing. So faith seems like, I mean, I'm only asking this because it's come up a couple of times, but it feels like a real cornerstone of who you are.
It is.
And has that been since childhood, obviously?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really, like, it's a beautiful way to operate through. Because I feel like it maybe demands is too strong of a word, but like demands, requires of us a consideration of others before self, or at the very least, like in tandem with self.
Yes.
It's funny because in hearing you talk about that, in learning about the individuals and taking the time and making sure that everyone knows you really care, it's almost like an athletic thing, like in athletics, the idea of creating a winning culture, right? It's like the whole, that makes sense because you did, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you did like high school athletics, you did like track and field, you did like, you've been parts of teams.
Yes.
I think like everybody, like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck right now are they're really working to create profit share, right? Like with their new movie The Rip, like Netflix, like they built in a ton of incentives for the crew because it's easy for, Tom Cruise to care when he's got like 30% of back end gross, top dollar gross. But really building this like incentive to give a shit, like you are part of something, really part of something. And I think it's easy for actors to have that because very often we've been unemployed for like, huge swaths of time. We've been pursuing this thing and it's been our life's passion, but that's not necessarily the case with everyone on the crew. Meaning not to devalue or say one is better than the other, but to simply say that like it's more of a craft, whereas acting is like, well, I'm going to run a roller coaster of a life, and I could go my entire life and never be paid for it once, and die poor, but I was doing it for the love of it. And I think that kind of kindness creates a sense of community within a set, and that's something that I really notice about Doc. Like I know you and Molly, like you guys really, really work to create this sense of like everybody truly is in it together, and it's not like a bullshit platitude.
It's not.
Yeah, which is freaking great.
I would call it if it was.
Yeah,
I would check it immediately.
And hearing you talk about this, we were talking in the car yesterday. You were like, you have a hard time going to parties? I'm like, of course you do, because parties, especially in LA, it's just like a bunch of people being like, okay, cool, who's the next person that I can...
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
You don't even finish the conversation. You're just looking for somebody more important to come into the room.
Literally.
Yeah, that must like break your soul.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
But it makes... do your thing, LA.
Yeah.
But
man. So
and that's for all of us. Like all of us, it's like me included. It's like when you're there and you're there with a manager, and it's like we're trying to figure out, okay, who in this room could help you advance your career, and that feels like it is a really hard job. Some are better than others at doing it, But if I could like have a good time and do that at the same time, then I feel like I've had a successful night. Or if I could not think about anybody in the room and meet one or two people where they're doing things and cool, we collaborate, then great. But I don't want to go in looking like, oh, they go Idris Elba across the room. I got to go, let's go talk to Idris. And then is that Jesus over there? Let me go talk to Jesus real quick and then we'll come back over here and talk to, it just feels like a lot of work to do, and it doesn't feel like it'll be genuine if you're like on the hunt. But I get it. It's
and some people are really skilled. That's like at that. Like, and it's like don't hate the player, hate the game. You know.
Yeah.
And but it's like choose the avenue that feels the most authentic to you.
Yeah.
And it feels like authenticity is like a huge part of your existence.
It is. Yeah.
Talk to me about your process. Like it's so rare. Like when we're working on a show together, all I see is product.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see you on the day. Like so. Doc is not an undemanding show. Like all the medical stuff, everything. Yeah. Like, talk to me about like a script comes in. How do you go about? Like, what are the first steps you take as you start like diving into it? And listen, if you want to keep these things private, that's also totally okay. Like I'm not here to like make you divulge your secrets.
I'll keep a couple things. I'll share what I can share. I'll spread my wisdom and knowledge. No, so when I first get the scripts, the first thing I need is the day out of days. Like I need to know the one-liner. I need to know what we're shooting. Yeah. So I can know how to prep my work for the 9 days that we're filming. Yeah. So normally I'll go all the medical terms I get to first. Right. Because I need to know what I'm talking about, or at least have an idea. Even if on week 1 I'm not even getting to the scene until week 2, at least I can get this word in my life for a few days before I get to say it. It makes it a lot better and easier to flow out if I can learn it and talk about it and think about it 7 days prior to whenever I shoot that. But normally I'll attack the medical things first, and then it'll be about because actually I had a hard time with my process on this show, because especially going into season 2, because I'm so used to hammering everything so hard, like doing the lines. Like each scene, I for sure am saying those lines. Actually, I won't say every scene. In 95% of the scenes that we do, I've said those lines, just the lines, at least 100 times. At least every scene, at least, because I know if in my brain I said it 100 times, and I know okay, my body knows. Oh, at least you got 100, so it'll come out. Even if at the end of the day I'm like, oh, I don't know, and we shoot the scene tomorrow. If it's 100, I'm like, all right. You got it at 100. Something about my brain is like, all right, if you get as close as you can. If I get to 50, all right, cool, you good, but still trying to hit that 100. Right. But just with the lines, and then I think at this point in the season 2, it's just about like the relationships that are there and just reacting off of whatever I'm building in these scenes. It's different with patients, because with each patient there is no relationship, and therein lies the challenge for me, because I don't want to. And it's hard because the show is coming out and I'm watching some of it at the same time as I'm acting it. Mm-hmm. And it can mess you up in your brain a little bit when you're seeing a performance and you go, okay, we're only 5 episodes ahead of it. So I'm like, I can correct things and move things. And I'm like, that's been really challenging. But I don't have to press the work as hard because the character is inside of me so much now. I've been with them for this season alone, 10 months, because we finish next week. Yeah. Yay. But like, I'll normally try to quickly develop like what my interaction after I get the lines and the medical stuff, like what's the interaction between the person that I'm working with, or if it's kids, I love kids. I love acting with children. There's a character, his name's Ashton. Shout out to Ashton. Ashman777 on Roblox, my boy. That is his Roblox name. Okay. I should have said it, he gonna be so bad. But Ashton played Walter Babbitt on the show. Oh God, so great, bro, man, I love that kid. And just like the getting a chance to talk to him a little bit beforehand and see how he is, then I'm like, oh, the work of like how I interact with him comes before we even get to set. Right. I just gotta have just a few words with him, just to see how he is, loosen him up a little bit, because kids they rehearse their lines a certain way and they say them a certain way. Yeah. So if I can break that, and then the director's trying to communicate something, it may not be working as well, but I'm good with kids, so I can loosen them up. And each person, Judd, I don't know if I can say that, but whatever. Judd Hirsch is on our show. By the time this comes out, it'll be right before the season finale. Fire. So, Judd Hirsch is on our show this season. In our he's on the show for a little bit, and talking to him before was just helpful. So each person, if I can just get a little bit of something with them beforehand, then it helps. So yeah, that's the process. Medical terms, just getting the words into my body, then the relationship work, and then with each patient just kind of flowing. And then, but again, it's hard to not hit, the challenge is not hitting the same beats. That's really hard.
Like in every take?
Not in every take, but in every new episode. It's like if you're new to me, you're new to me, you're new to me, then essentially you're all new, and my approach to you is still, it would just be, hey, how you doing? It'll be a sense of kindness or whatever. But if I play that and play that and play that, there's no, every episode you'll end up seeing a guy meet new people
in the same way.
In the same way. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
So it's been really hard trying to navigate finding the nuance. But my brain is like, hey, it just is what it's going to be. What's going to be. You can't, it's been challenging in some ways.
Yeah. Well, it's such a long amount of time to keep something interesting. Like when you think about it, it's like, like with a feature film, you're dealing with 2 hours of entertainment, like max 3, right?
Yes.
Which means like we're gonna see the characters meet each other all within the first 15 to 20 pages.
Yes.
And then the rest of the movie is dealing with shit, right? So it's like, when do you ever have to spend 22 hours constantly meeting people?
Yes.
Like if an entire movie was just meeting people for 3 hours, you'd be like, oh, I'm really bored with the way that this guy greets people, or whatever. So it's like, those are really unique challenges when you're in such a long running thing, because you're seeing the same thing over and over again, and you don't want to deliver it in the same way. You don't want to just that's like a really interesting hidden challenge.
Yeah. And the directors are new.
Yeah.
So if directors are new, then in their minds, they may see something. So if I make a choice to come in and say, I say the line, hi, I'm Dr. Coleman, at least, I could off the top of my head, at least 10 times, right? Because I'm coming to the room, hey, I'm Dr. Coleman.
Yeah.
If I choose to go, all right, I had a hard morning this morning.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Dr. Coleman. If I bring that in, then that would be, hey, can we get, like, what do you think about like the energy being up a little bit? Because TJ's known to be this guy where his energy is a little bit higher, and he's really charismatic and charming. And I'm like, so it's hard to go, hey, how you doing, man? I'm Dr. Coleman. Let's get to that is just challenging when I know that that's not the course of the episode, or that's not what they want the character to be. So it's just been a lot of dealing in my brain of like how to make things interesting. What's interesting is who I'm in the scene with. The other doctor.
That's essentially like my go-to whenever I'm worried about becoming boring. I'm always just like, I got to get really interested in this person, whoever's in front of me, because that's going to cause me to like change the way that the way that I intended to do it, and it's going to make it, usually if I'm dealing with the other person and I'm being responsive to them, it means that the direction isn't going to lean away from that,
right?
Because I'm leaning into what's happening. I think your water's right over there.
Oh, no, thank you.
It's okay. You can look.
Conversation.
Yeah, for sure. That's a film actor right there. Keep your eyes in the frame. Keep your eyes in the frame. Keep the camera in my eyes. That kind of stuff is so unique to the like episodic. Over and over and over the like formulaic nature of our show.
Yes.
And I think our show does a pretty good job of keeping it different while keeping it like within a structure and formula that's comfortable. And by comfortable I mean like, I think our type of show is like a comfort blanket for people.
Yes.
Which I think is a really important service for like art.
Yeah. And it's real too, because doctors do meet people every day.
Every freaking day.
Like Walter White, he might not meet new people every day. Like, that might not be his experience. Yeah. Where like, if he was a doctor and you going into your office every day, you gonna meet a new patient every day.
Yeah. Eventually, like season 4, episode 13, he's just like, hi, I'm Walter White. I am the one who knocks. It's just like, I don't give a shit. I knock sometimes.
He's so fire in that show, isn't he?
God, it's so good. I haven't seen it in like I watched it like while it was happening.
Bro. Nice. Real pleasure.
But
I watched it after it happened.
Oh, did it? Yeah. I watched. It's funny because I watched the first season of that show and like on DVD, and I was like, it's not that great. And then by the time like that season ended, I was like, might be one of the best TV shows on,
Bro,
on
my
in the history of
opinion,
the world.
#1 all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, y'all, I want to take a hot sec to talk about Fancy Face and Brittany Gray. Brittany Gray is an actor who has been at this for a really long time. She was actually like a client of mine years and years and years ago, like when I first started coaching. And she went and she built this whole thing. She created this this makeup brand. She does custom consultations. The products she has created are incredible. She's local Toronto. Supporting her was an absolute no-brainer because the product is amazing. She is amazing. What she's building is amazing. And we're going to be doing future collaborations with her where we're going to be giving away like makeup looks. Like essentially you go to her and she'll build your ideal self-tape look, all sorts of cool stuff. So that's all in the future. She's really cool. She's also given us an amazing 20% off of all of her products and services using the code DNAPod. Links are in the description down below. I highly recommend you chat with Brittany and her team and dive into her world because, man, it's cool. She's cool. And now we're going to get back to the show. You started acting pretty young, but you were living in, correct me if I'm on, Jacksonville, Florida?
Yes.
And then you ended up in Atlanta.
Yes.
Now, so this is going to be such a weird question, but how did you get so fucking good at it, dude? Like, did you take classes? Do you have coaches? Do you have? I heard you yesterday talking with talking about working something with your coach.
Yes.
Right. So I'm like, because I went to theater school. We were talking about this.
Yeah.
Did you do that? What was your path to? It's one thing to have the talent and the passion for it, but like, dude, you're like great.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got references. It's not
no,
like, you know, but I'm yeah, like talk to me about like what your journey was through education and learning the craft.
Good question. So when I moved to Atlanta, I was 18, just graduated from high school.
Yeah.
And I moved there to live with my father. And I went to this local acting class called Premier Actors Network with this coach named Dwayne Boyd. Dwayne is amazing. Shout out to Dwayne. Went to Dwayne for a while, and like in that class it was different things each week, which is kind of it's fun for an actor because you're learning different things. It wasn't very formulaic. It was like, all right, whatever Dwayne was feeling that week, he would come in and he would coach us. We would go to work. And it was a big class of a lot of people. So you're in a class with like 25, 30 people sometimes. So I think very early on, I learned how to support other actors, and we did a lot of improv. So I learned how to just kind of be free through all of it. And like you know what's crazy? I watched everybody really closely in acting. So
that was me. I did too. Yeah, I took notes on everybody's performances,
bro. And I would mimic people and figure out what about them made them special to me. Like when I first started, there was a guy named is a guy. His name's Jeremy. Shout out Jeremy. My buddy Jeremy, a dude named Larry Rim. Shout out Larry. Those are two people when I first started who had like they were funny and they had charisma that I wanted to kind of emulate. So I watched them early and watched how like they did their work and then it's like, okay, I had them in my brain, and then I would pick different people and just kind of focus and watch and then kind of just take from everybody. But I watched so many movies. Like my way was, I think, movies.
So when we were all at the Thanksgiving thing at Amira's, we were like Top Gun Maverick came on.
Yeah.
And you were just like a kid in a candy store. You were just like so excited.
Oh yeah, I was locked, yeah.
So is this something that like, talk to me about this. Do you, like when you watch movies, is it always like trying to like find and see the secret sauce, the magic behind the performances, or is it like kind of a hybrid of enjoyment versus that?
Both.
Okay.
So a lot movies that I really love, I watch them multiple times.
Me too.
I saw like for the Academy Award movies, I saw Sinners 4 times. I saw One Battle 4 times.
I want to talk to you about Sinners.
I saw
because I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some thoughts. But most movies I take in multiple times. For the first time I get a chance to really enjoy it. If I don't like it, I'll also go and watch it again sometimes just to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Or if I feel like there's something great in it. When I saw Nope the first time, I was not a fan. And I ended up seeing Nope 7 times, bro. Because
Really?
the second time I went, it was better. The third time I went, it was better. And I went to everybody like, yo, you got to give it a chance. You got to watch it again. Watch it again. You got to give it a shot. But it's like there's things that like a common audience could miss when you're dealing with a certain level of filmmaker. You cannot go in there and be like, all right, this is Jordan Peele. He's going to just give us something basic. No, it's not Lifetime.
No.
You might have to go back and check it a second time to see where this gentleman was coming from. And the second time it was like the world opened. And I think it's different when I go to movies with friends, and it's like sometimes I'm thinking about like my thoughts, what are they thinking, and it could take me out of it. So I watch a lot of movies, you know, by myself in a lot of cases. But
Did you go to the theater by yourself, or do you do this at home? Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so I watch movies multiple times just to. Sometimes it'll be just for performance, then it'll be for enjoyment normally. But yeah, movies are. I think people talk about how movies save their lives. It's just like movies are just like another church to me. Like a quiet, dark room where like nothing matters, your phone doesn't matter. And like in those moments, I even found like in the darkest times of my life, like I just would run to the theater, like run to it. Or even being candid with you, like like during this season, you know, I was going through some hard periods and I just lived on set, and it was like, why are you here so much? And it was like, it was part of myself that didn't want to go home. You know, like my friends are all in LA, like my life is in other places. So being here, which I love Toronto, but like kind of just being, you know, lonely like that. When it was really challenging, I would stay on set, or I just lived in a theater, and in that, I know how important movies are to people.
Yeah.
And like I want to honor movies the way that people, because people live their lives based off of movies. Their opinions are based in these things. You know, going to Germany for the first time is like, the first thing that was talked about was like Americans, like how Americans love guns because it's in the movies, or like all like the perspective of all these things is from like what people see in films. And I'm like, if I could represent something, not just, you know, being a black man, which I will represent, or just being whatever I am, I just like to represent humanity in a really good way. And like, I like to represent humanity in a good way in film, and in the right way in film, and not make like movies where it's like, oh, everybody's always good looking. It's like, why? Like everybody not good looking in real life. So it's like, you know, like just I want to be a part of creating worlds where it's like it's different, and you got, you know, you have more women, you have more diverse, you know, people in like LA. When they talk, I'm gonna hit you with a little baby tangent.
Let's go.
When they show LA on TV, it's normally like, all right, cool. You might have a lot of, you know, Caucasian people, have you a few black people, but LA is like Latinos everywhere. Yeah. They're everywhere. They run LA. So I'm like, my brain is like, I don't get how you can ever show LA and not honor that culture. It's like, it is Los Angeles. It's like, it's in the name. So like, there's a world of filmmaking that I would like to be a part of, where like we show the world what it really looks like and what it really is. But that is like, I really, really genuinely, I love Christ. I love my family. I love movies. Like that is 1, 2, and 3. And I love humanity, you know, and movies. You can put them side by side.
Yeah,
but,
I get that.
But in movies, like we were talking about in the car yesterday, it is the outreach to people and the ability to be effective and actually change a world when it's so like dark, and you know, you got people who, not specifically anybody, but like you got people who lead countries or like are over countries and are like not the best people, and just like there has to be some people like who I would love to be, who like combat that in the other ways. If you spew hate all the time, then like, oh, you better believe that like, okay, here go Patrick, I'm coming, I got love and we coming, like, you know. Yeah. So like the end.
I think I think the power of story is like immeasurable.
It's crazy.
And film and television is like, that's where the eyeballs are. Like, and here's this, like, you know, there's all this like the social media, the TikToks, the short form, all of that. That might be where eyeballs go, but that's not story.
Right.
And I think like so when we're talking about, the other day when we were talking about movies, like for me, like I've talked about knowing what I wanted early.
Yes.
And it was, I was either going to go like the law path to politics because I wanted to affect positive change in the world.
Nice. You wanted to be a lawyer?
Potentially, but then turns out I was way better at being a song and dance man. You know, like that's where I was just like, you know, I would have to learn a lot of stuff that, you know, I don't know if I was smart enough to learn.
Yeah.
But but for me, going into film and television was always, even when I went to theater school, I knew I wanted to go into film and TV because that was where you would get the most impact on society, trying to affect positive change in the world. And that doesn't mean like same as you. It's like I'm not making a political statement here. I'm simply saying that like, if I can leave this world having done more good than I did harm, and told stories that did more good than they did harm, then I think that's a well-lived life.
Yeah.
And that matters deeply to me, you know? And that's not to say that I've always been morally altruistic. It's not to say that I have always succeeded at that. It's not to say that I've always been a positive influence on people, but I try to be, and when I'm not, I try to grow and I try to be better and I try to tell better stories, you know? And that I think really, really, really matters so much to me. And I think that's where our art form, like, it's just like, you get access to eyeballs and you can change minds. And I think, you know, there's like the news, there's all this stuff, and it's just sensationalized. And it's like you were talking about, everyone's like, oh, America's guns. And it's like, no, it's not. Like,
so,
like
come on, guys.
It's a bunch of people who are trying really hard to just get by and in general, help each other out.
Yeah.
Just like every friggin' civilization for the most part, you know? And that is a much more true narrive than the sensationalized nature of it.
Can I ask you a question about the lawyer thing that you said?
Hit me. Yeah,
Did you ever pursue that?
No, I mean, like I did all
like
the
a
high
thought?
school thing. Like I would have had all of the courses that I would even. I was a big history fan. I was like the way that my brain works is pretty analytical, and I think I would have been good at it. But it would have been for the purpose of going into politics.
But even the beauty of like our industry is that you like, even as you like, you could play a lawyer, right? And it's like, it's like, okay, cool, I didn't go to school to be a lawyer, but I could play a really good one.
Oh yeah.
And like that energy, because it lived in your mind at one point, even if it was for a day. Yeah. It's inside of you somewhere. So like when it comes time to play a lawyer, then it's like, oh, how effective you'll be.
Yes.
Because like you already have some of that stuff already built inside of you.
Definitely. You know? And I've thought a lot about it.
Right.
A lot about it.
Yeah. Even that scene you did with sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
On Cross, like the ability that you have to like come toe to toe with people. Yeah. Or like the that's why I say Robert Downey Jr. It's like
that was one of the best compliments. Like that actually meant a lot to me because I was like trying to keep my head above water on Doc in the beginning, and and I was just like, you
had that bravado though, like, but not in like an arrogant way, but it's like you have presence, and with that, it prompts like it's like you have to pay attention to people who have presence. It's innate. Like when people come into a room and it's like they walk a certain way, there's like you're drawn to like them, and you have that thing. When I saw that scene from Cross, I was like, oh wow, like it's the same thing. I'm like, oh yep, there it is, like that, like ability to go toe to toe with Aldous Hodge.
That was fun.
And have that moment, and it was a really, really good scene, really good moment. I'm like, well, yeah, that tracks. You know, like
that was crazy because I didn't get that script didn't come to me until Sunday at 4 p.m. and I was on set at 4 a.m. on Monday.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I had no time.
For that entire
yeah, it was like a mess up with the script coordinator.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was pretty crazy. That one was I was just like, okay, try to be as present as I possibly could.
You did good.
Because it was just like that's all I had.
Yeah. But it's good that I didn't feel the fact that you had just gotten it.
That's good.
Some people if you feel that they just got it, then the moment that you guys have that like kind of head to head, then you would have backed up a little bit. You would have been able to feel that energy in the performance, and I would never guess that.
Oh, that's great.
That's
I love
how they
that.
do it. Isn't it crazy when they do us like that?
It's so crazy. But the thing is, I love that. I don't know, maybe you do too. I love the like getting thrown curveballs and having to be like, well, listen, we ball, right? Like we either do it or we don't.
Yeah.
And you can either lean away from that or you can lean into it.
Yeah.
And like I learned pretty young that I'm the kind of person who's like, I'm gonna lean into it.
Yeah.
It might be bad, like, but it's like, but I'm gonna lean in.
But it's also you get the. I was saying this to Amira. She was like, oh, I don't mind when I get like changes in scripts the same day. Yeah. Because the production knows that you just got to change in a script and like, all right, cool. Even better for me. Y'all know I just got it 2 seconds ago, so I'm gonna figure this thing. It gives you like an ability or freedom to kind of figure it out in the moment because you have the past because they just gave it to you 2 seconds ago. So it's like a part of it that like a little bit. It's almost like you get freedom by someone else's, you know.
And it's almost like it takes the pressure off.
Yes.
To a degree, because everybody
Yes.
knows, like, oh, well, they're finding it in the moment.
Yes.
Right? As opposed to they've all had this and they should have it. And, if you don't mind, I want to go back to, not to make you talk about like challenges, but you said something that really resonated with me when you were saying that you were going through some hard times earlier in the script or earlier in the season. And it was interesting because I think it was episode 10. We were shooting out at the hospital, like out in like at the intro to episode 10, and you were just there. You were there, and you were like, it was shooting evenings, and you weren't in the scenes, but you like came and you were watching. You were in Video Village. You were checking out everything, and you came and talked to me. We had like an episode together in episode 8, and that was my first like major storyline kind of on the show.
Yeah, that's fun.
And you took the time out to talk to me about like how the feedback was good, like. It was really cool seeing you there. And again, I was like, it's funny how perception changes. Like I was like, oh, he's just really passionate about being here. But it also turns out that you might have been struggling a bit.
Oh yeah.
So one, I'm sorry to hear that you were struggling.
Well, it all works out.
I get that. That's yeah, for sure. But that's a challenge. And two, that idea of going to the movies during dark times.
Yeah.
Like that, I just wanted to say like, dude, same.
Yeah.
It's my default. And it's like kind of like a lot of times in my life where it's been like really, really hard. That's been the place that I just go. And for whatever reason, it's not like this, like it doesn't have to be a good, like you just be a bad horror movie. But I go and it's like, there's something about the process of going through it all. Just like being there where I'm just like, oh, everything's just a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Like, but it doesn't have to like rock my world.
You're in the theater watching. I was watching The Nun too. I'm like, what am
that was one of the ones that I went to.
The Nun too. Why am I didn't even see The Nun 1. What am I doing here?
Now with more nuns.
But that was a pretty good movie though. The Nun 2. Didn't even expect it. Go watch The Nun 2.
Yeah.
On whatever local station.
Yeah.
Streaming service.
Yeah.
That was a good movie, but
yeah, but I understand that, and like I'm a ritual guy. Like we were joking earlier. You've never drank. Like you don't drink, right? Like I drank way too much. Like to the degree that I had to stop drinking. So you talking about faith resonates with me in a lot of ways because I grew up like with a really religious family. Like my dad was an atheist, but my grandparents, they were like evangelical, like big time religion. And I got sober and didn't do it through like 12 steps, didn't like go through that like basic religious structure, but definitely like God became a much bigger part of my life. Like I often say like once the booze left, it's like I could actually hear God talk back, which was really great.
Ooh, I like that.
It was very cool. And now I talk to God all the time. Like yesterday we were doing that surgery scene, and I had a couple of moments where I was just like I'm just sitting there watching you guys, you know, I'm watching you, I'm watching Felicity, I'm watching Blair, and I'm just like,
it's crazy, right?
And I'm just like, thank you, thank you, and I just hear back a little like, you're welcome,
That's cool.
like, and it's really cool. And I always try to. I don't know if you ever think about this, but ever since I was a little kid, when I started doing shows, I would take a moment to invite God to watch. Not because like, I mean, God,
in what way?
Like I would just pray. I'd pray like I'd pray to be like, hey, please help me not suck at this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We all had that prayer.
Yeah, and
Please,
but then I would also be like, and also like, if you want to be here to watch, just watch. Like,
Ooh,
please.
that's cool.
And I don't know why I always do
Still
that. Because it's like,
like God, come watch me today. Come check this
of
out.
God is that God is like omnipotent, right? Like God is everywhere. He's here right now. But it's like, it might be nice just to be asked,
Yeah. I love that.
So I tried, and so yesterday when we were doing that scene, I was just like, and also God, if you want to be here, this is pretty cool. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. That is cool.
Like I don't know where I'm going with this other than it's cool to talk a little bit of faith.
Yeah.
With you. It's
yeah. Can I
It-
say one more thing on
Please,
faith? Since we're
yes,
talking about my faith.
I would love to. Yeah.
I find that I have no fear when entering certain environments because I know that God coming with me.
Yeah.
Like if it's somewhere dark, I'm like, oh yeah, it's dark until the door open.
Yeah.
When we come in, are we in here? And the atmosphere changes with that.
Yeah.
And in any place, I find that like because we carry that within ourselves, it is the it is light into places that may not seem as bright. And everybody needs light. Everybody. We all need a little bit of light in whatever way. You know, it doesn't have to be shoving what you believe in someone's face or even talking about it, but just in presence alone, it shifts an environment. I've had some really, like I had a really great conversation even with Felicity about like faith very early on, and like just she's very much the same of just really caring about people and like where they come from and their stories and things that make them them. And that's one of the first things she asked me was about faith.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that she even knew that I believed in anything. And that was one of the first questions she asked when we like had a one-on-one moment, was about that. And I go, oh, that thing follows you. It's with you, you know, wherever you go and however you move. Just like being a good human being, it's there. It's in your being happy. Like happy people, it's in the way that they bounce through the door. You know, my mama, I mean, also a woman of faith, but she's funny and she just bounces around all day and just like, you can tell that's a happy woman the way she walks in the room, you know, and that's just an energy that I think is important for us to carry.
You have that, man, for sure, which doesn't mean that you're obligated to live there all the time. You know, sometimes life is tough. Man, Felicity, I feel like, I mean, you've had way more interaction with her than I have, but that woman speed runs getting to know you.
Man.
Like the other, I was telling Brie about this last night. She was asking me about the day, and remember, like, so yesterday she was like, "How does your mom dance?
How's your mom dance?
How's your mom dance?"
Yeah.
And we're all just like around this like freaking, and she's asking
around a prosthetic, a colorful prosthetic with blood everywhere.
Yeah, and like, you know, fake organs exposed, all this
Yes.
stuff. And she's just like, "How's your mom dance?" And she starts dancing the way her mom dances, and it's like, what an incredible way to like speed run intimacy.
Yeah,
like not romantic intimacy, but just like. Gets us all thinking about our parents, gets us all thinking about them from an angle of approach that I've never once thought of my mother. But then she gets to watch us go through that. And I feel like she knows me better than like probably 90% of the people in my life because of that one moment. And I didn't even like try to open up to her at all.
You know, it's even more interesting.
It's fascinating.
That moment was because she asked me, then she asked Janet, she asked Blair. And for a second, they talked about something else.
Yeah. And then she came back.
And then she came back and asked you.
Yeah.
And your answer came because and when you said it, I was like, oh, he had a chance to even think about his answer.
I did. I was like, how does my mom?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, your answer came out faster than everyone else's answer did.
Yeah.
It's because like she asked, and then whatever little break, like, you know, 10-second break, and then came back and how does your mom dance? You immediately was like, my mom does like a two-step
step touch.
Like a step touch. Step touch.
Yeah.
That was a good moment.
Yeah.
I love the way that, yeah.
It's just like little stuff. And these are the things where I'm just like going back to that God thing where I was just like, I'm so fucking grateful that day happened.
Yeah.
You know, like what a beautiful thing, like, and uniquely beautiful to me. Like I'm somebody who is like hardwired to love that. And that was delivered unto my life. It's just like, man, what a freaking lucky thing.
That was a good day.
It was great.
Yes, it was great.
Okay, I'm going to take a hot sec here and talk about the partnership we have going on with Othership, which is a super cool place. I mentioned them in the intro. I do genuinely go to Othership every Friday. I got sober a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, hot damn. And going there has replaced going to the bar for me. It's a really cool social place. I quite love the process of the sauna and the cold plunge. I enjoy doing hard things, and there's something about the experience that really resonates with me, and it resonates with a lot of actors that I know. So if you're into the wellness journey and all that stuff, you can check out our partnership with them. With the code Douglas Nyback, you can get 11% off all of your classes and packs. There's also a 2-for-1 deal if you're a first timer. So you get 2 passes for the price of 1, which is super excellent. You can use for yourself or for a guest. The links are in the description down below. And you can also get 1 month free of the Breathwork app, which I use very often. Anyway, I quite like these things. And that's why we're partnering with them, because I friggin' enjoy Othership. And I think it genuinely makes my life better, and I think it'll make your life better. So check it out. If you feel so inclined now, let's get back to the show. Appreciate you. I find like the way that I try to view my life is like life is a series of trading worse problems for better problems, right? Like you're an unemployed actor, and you're like, okay, I get a gig, and now because I have a survival job, I got to worry about like getting time off at the restaurant and all this stuff. Like, but I'm on a TV show, so it's like that's a better problem. and it's created, better problems than
Right.
I'm not even getting auditions, and all I'm doing is working at a bar, and I
Exactly.
feel like I'm never going to go anywhere. Like, that's a worse problem to have, right? So I'm always trying to trade up my problems, right?
Ooh.
Like I'm a really busy. I'm really
is
blessed
good.
to be really busy as a coach. And when I'm on doc a lot, I'm like, well, I got a lot of clients I got to say no to. I've got to it's a whole, but that's a really good problem to have. Like, I'm trying to trade my life for better problems. Like right now, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's got like am I ever going to win another Academy Award again? Maybe, maybe not, but he's there every time he makes a movie. Like, that's the better problem than, am I ever going to work again after What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Like, it's a whole,
literally.
So, and for him, he had a chunk of time where he didn't work, like after Titanic, between that and Gangs of New York. It could have just gone away, and it didn't. So we're just trying to trade our lives. So you've got this really beautiful thing where it's like Doc went from 10 episodes, which is like 3-4 months, to 22, which is 10 months. So a huge chunk of your life got eaten up.
Yeah.
Tell me, like,
and then do another 22.
Yeah, like 3 months from now.
Yeah.
Going right into it. So talk to me about like the blessing and curse of that. Like how did that affect you? Like, blessing and curse is my words. It doesn't have to be yours.
Fair.
But how did that affect you? One, that bump up, and two, you're such a creative guy. Like, you're always trying to chase other stories.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just curious to get you talking about that.
Yeah.
How it affected your life. Like, it could just be all positive. I don't know.
Yeah, I love what you just said about trading problems for better problems. That
Right.
is like, that's something that should go in like an Instagram caption.
I'm sure it's
I'm in London.
else.
I'm trading problems, child.
Yeah.
No, that is funny.
It's got to be, I think smarter people than me originated that concept, but.
I love that though. No, the 22 episodes is such a great blessing in the fact that you get a chance to have a job for that long, for 10 months out of the year, knowing that you get a chance to be on set. You can't beat it. In that, the challenge being, this is the job that you'll be doing for the next 10 months.
Yeah.
Is, to me, creatively, it's such a great blessing, but in that it is the want to go and do other things is there, and the challenge of, I had like a few, maybe 3 or 4 episodes off this season, and I've gone and shot other things in those little 2-week periods in LA, gone and like done, I think I did like 3 shorts or 3 other projects, and I planned them with like other people, like held the projects until I was done, and then I was like, hey, y'all, I'm available for this date to this date. I could be back by this date, and I got to do the first ones I would do without. I love you guys. I did without production knowing, so they had no idea that I was gone. I just went, did it, came back, and then when I did the last one, they were like, hey, Patrick, you gotta let us know you're going places. I'm like, all right, cool, and then I let them know in the last one, but in that it is hard to continue to build, but it wasn't impossible. So yeah, it definitely is the biggest challenge was coming to Toronto and being like having no family, like my friends being like, it is like my family on set is my family. That is actively where I am stimulated as a human being, and then you leave there and then you go home, and then it's kind of like, okay, things are a little bit quiet, it's chill, you get back to it. So the hard part is going to work and coming to life at work. Yeah. And then when you go home, it feels like you kind of die a little bit. Like, you're like, all right, like now I'm waiting to go back to work the next day or whatever. And then it's amazing. Then like people coming into town and visiting, it's like, oh yeah, like you get to feel you're alive again. Then they leave and it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
But my brain, that was at the beginning of the season.
Right.
I think that I did I would pat myself on the back for adjusting to the city and saying like, hey, you live here. This is where you live. Don't, like, the first season I was going back and forth. I was every other week.
Yeah, you were traveling. But you were, correct me if I'm wrong, you were a fractional series reg last season.
The first season I was a guest star.
You were a guest star, okay.
I was a guest star, yeah. I had the offer to be a reg, and I was like, I just want to be a guest star this season. And Doc is great. They worked with me, and Fox and Sony, everybody's great. They worked with me with that. Yeah. So I was able to bounce back and forth, and they covered flights and stuff. So I was able to take care of things I could take care of in LA and then be here. Right. But season 2, my brain, it took a while, but then my brain clicked and said, okay, you live here now. This is what this is. I got my Canadian phone number. I got I got the that. I got my little Scotiabank card.
Yeah, all right.
I don't like Scotiabank. They've been super challenging, but they got to get it together. But
we heard it here first. Get your shit together, Scotiabank.
Please, Scotiabank, please.
God dang, Scotia.
Please. But eventually I learned how to like just make this my place and make this my city. I know where, certain restaurants are and things that I like and just kind of, I fell into it. And then that's when things became a little bit easier. And then the crew, like a group of us, they have a softball league. So playing softball on the weekend, what do they call it? Squash ball or slosh ball, where it's not a hard softball, it's like a softer ball. Cool. Because we play in the dome in those on the soccer fields.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's one on Cherry Street where it's like a football field. It's under a dome because it's so cold outside and it's snowing.
Right.
So like half of it is soccer and our half is like a league, different leagues play for like an hour.
Oh, cool.
And doing that with them and, some of the crew will go bowling and, we did VR recently, like VR shooting. So just kind of like your family, like everybody becoming a family and that's been really great. So that's how I've figured it out. But creatively, it's been challenging.
Yeah.
Definitely been challenging.
Now you're writing, right?
Yes.
So are you writing in your downtime on the show a lot?
Every day.
Okay.
Every day. I'm writing in my trailer at work.
No shit.
Every day.
Cool.
I've literally for the past like few months I've been like in prep for a movie that I'm shooting in May. I'm working with two of my buddies, my buddy Jordan and my buddy Brad, and wrote this movie and legitimately, like even the other day I did a Instagram video, but I had my computer set up in, like we shot in between scenes, I was and we'll go in a trailer, lunch, hey, so cute, different productions, different projects, because when that hiatus is coming, there are more people who want to work and do different things, so a lot of working in that trailer, when
this is really smart.
Yeah.
It's like it's incredibly intelligent and it's cool hearing you talk about it. Because I've known a lot of folks who become, regs on shows.
Yeah.
We were talking about this yesterday. God, I used up all the podcast topics on that drive home. But like series regs who get like all they do is shoot the thing and then they're like they chill out, shoot the thing, chill out, shoot the thing. And then it's really easy to start becoming cynical about, well, I'm not getting opportunities. I'm only known as this thing. I'm always just like, you have downtime.
Yeah.
Like, but it takes work to have it all lined up for this small window of time that you've got.
Yeah.
To just like speed run your way through a ton of creativity in 3 months.
Yes.
So that you can get back into the 10 months.
Yeah.
Like that's incredibly smart.
Yeah. And even learning as an actor how to communicate with with showrunners, like Barbie is really great. Hank, they're both like great human beings.
They really are.
And
shout out Barbie, shout out Hank.
Yeah, shout out Barbie and Hank. I love you guys. I've had to learn how to communicate because as an actor, there's a part of me that waits for the world to be delivered to me. Like, hey, here's your character. That's where you play in that little box. This is the world that we're bringing to you. And now being going to the third season of being a lead character on a show, now it's a sense of, okay, I want to pitch some ideas. I want to talk about things. And Barbie's like, hey, whatever you have, come and talk to me about it. Like, let me know what you think. And other shows, I did limited series before this. Lessons in Chemistry for Apple TV, limited. Gaslit for Stars, limited. Last Days of Ptolemy Gray, Apple TV, limited. So like the world is there. You are where you are. It is pretty much a movie, long movie.
It's like a 10-hour movie.
Yeah. And now it's just like, okay, what do I think of the character? What do I want to bring to the show? What do I want to, that'd have been my thoughts now. Like, okay, what can I contribute? Because every project is about contribution. Molly, the other day we were talking, she was like, you're one of the actors who understands the big picture in a show. Like there's a scene I did even with Anya the other day. Shout out Anya. Shout out all my people.
Yeah. Anya's great.
Yeah, she's amazing. So like it's this this love story that they've developed, and inside this world that they've created, we know, hey, we're not the most important characters on the show. We're not, it's not that. But like when we got these moments, I'm like, all right, we got to steal a moment. We have to be aggressive with these moments. And sometimes in that, I could try to, for me prepping, I could try to make a moment be something that it's not, and that's just not how it should be done.
Right.
And then when that's the day I talked to my coach. I said, hey, this is a scene What do you think about it?
This is the scene that was in the.
Yeah. Oh, you were there. You're sleeping.
Yeah. I was sleeping through that scene.
You were sleeping.
I was asleep in the foreground.
Yeah.
I was like angling my face towards the camera. I was like, gotta get into this somehow.
but that scene is because when TJ goes through something in that episode, I was like, oh, he's feeling bogged down. He's feeling bad or whatever. But that scene is not that. Even though he's having personal problems, that scene doesn't show that, doesn't talk. Like, that's not what that scene is about.
Yes.
And my brain as an actor is like, oh, wait, no. He just did this. He feels this. It's the same day. It's the same. But the scene doesn't show that. So my brain had to come off of like, all right, it's like in the scene, it's about like supporting someone in love, through being loving, even though your character is going through something. It's hard to play both of those things at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So my brain had to go, and I talked to Brandon Thomas, my boy, amazing acting coach in Los Angeles. Brandon was like, hey, this scene is about like you're connecting with her. Like, that's what this moment is as I read it. And he's like, okay, and one way you could play around with that is language, her language. Because Anya, same as Sonia, they've allowed that she speaks Bengali in the show.
Right. So
I learned some, and then said it in the scene, and it was just I didn't say it every take, but the takes. Yeah. Hopefully they use it, but if they do use it, you'll see her like experience a black man speaking her language for just a small second on television. I'm like what a beautiful moment that could possibly be. But it just affected her as an actor, so it made that scene.
It was a really beautiful moment.
Yeah, it made the scene even more special, and I think it helped to like connect these characters and like all the stuff that they're going through in this film.
Well, and what's cool with that kind of stuff too is that like it connected you and Anya.
Yeah,
that meant a lot to her.
It did.
And it's like when it comes to performance, you reach this like point where it's like it's like if you put enough of like sugar in a glass of water, it reaches a point of equilibrium, right? Where it's like, is it sugar or is it water?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like that's like self and character.
Yes.
So by doing that, it showed like not only obviously that your character cares about her character, but also that like you cared enough about that. You, Patrick, like that teaches her things about you that also solidify the relationship.
Yeah.
And it's so smart. Like holistically, that was such a smart thing.
Yeah.
I was like, when you did that, I was like, damn, that's smart. That's so smart. And it's also interesting too. Yeah. The idea of characters who are going through this, but this moment maybe isn't about that.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot, and I have found in my life, like, it's one of the reasons why work has been so important.
And what do you think about that too, as you?
So I think like, well, you and I here, right? Today, you and I both have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Do different things, like some of it positive, some of it negative. But here we are, and the only thing that matters to me in this moment is that I'm having a conversation with you.
Good answer.
Right? Like this is it.
That's good answer.
And all that stuff's gonna be there on the other side of it. And are those
good answer.
Like that's my piano today, but it's like I'm not playing the keys.
Good answer.
That are irrelevant to this moment.
Good answer. Yeah. There it is. I should have asked you.
Well, I mean,
should have came to you, man. Golly. Oh my gosh.
And that helps me a lot when it comes to acting. It's funny because you're like, you guys aren't the most important part of it, but it's like, I'm less of an important part of it. On the show, like there's different.
But
I always try to saturate like moments with character. I always try to, if I'm on there, I want to make an impact. I want to make a choice that's interesting. I want to like do something, and that's true to my guy, but is true to the moment.
Yes.
So it's like at the end of the day, I try to come in with a bunch of ideas, but it's like. I also just like the main thing is zero in on whoever's higher than me on the call sheet and be like, well, you're the person who's driving this, and I'm going to try to be interesting, but it's about championing your shit. Sure. And I think like that's the mindset that I try to bring into that, but like creativity within the understanding of how the show flows. That like overarching, you were saying that Molly noticed that about you.
Big picture, baby.
Yeah,
because you can. I think all of us like. Actors are. The one thing I love about actors, all like, whether they realize it or not, whether they just started yesterday or whether they've been doing it for years, there's an idea that they have about a scene when they first read it. Yeah. It lives. It's there. The first time they read it, there's something that they think about that scene, and it is. and it's normally to do with us.
Yes.
Normally, it is what can I bring to this scene? I think true like skill is like, okay, we acknowledge that. Like now I know when I think that when I first read it, I get the best ideas for my character. I write down my first thoughts sometimes. Cause like my first time reading it, I get the most.
Yeah.
Cause then my brain goes from personal, like, okay, this is Patrick Reed and TJ. Then it's like, okay, what's the script about? Then those ideas that I had at first can get drowned out as to what the big picture is.
Yeah.
And then I sometimes have to go back and remember those little moments because then I go, oh, this makes the scene even more special. Yes. So you got to maybe not bring all 5 of those, but bring one of those in and it'll work in terms of the overall picture.
Yeah.
And like what I have.
And it's like it makes the thing holistically better.
Yes.
And more of what it is, you know,
Yeah.
like it's like our job is to make the story more the story,
Yes.
not to make the story more us.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
At least that's what I think.
Yes.
You know, like that might not be true if you're Tom Cruise, you know,
Right.
where it's like, oh, actually, maybe Top Gun Maverick is about like making it more Tom Cruise. That might
Yeah.
be true.
Yeah.
You know, because the story of him might actually be the story of that movie.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
yes.
but I'm not there yet. My career.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like that's a guy with better problems than me.
Yeah.
You know,
Would you trade those for those problems?
you know what?
Can I give you something before you answer?
Yes, please.
I worked with this dude. I won't even say his name, but he worked with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
On a big movie, and he said he didn't say anything bad. He said working with Tom Cruise, he said I learned that Tom Cruise is a whale, and I was like, what do you mean? He said Tom Cruise is a whale because he said whales, there's always something attached to them, like always like little animals or like they swim underneath the whale, and the whale is responsible for so many other like living organisms like that move with them. The whale is not just by them. There's always something attached to a whale, and the whale takes up so much space, but the responsibility of the whale is very heavy.
Yeah.
And he said that I learned that I don't want to be a whale.
Interesting.
And I was like, wait, what? He was like, in watching somebody who does that, I don't want to do that.
Right.
And I remember sitting there, and then the director of that movie, he leaned over, he turned to me, he said, you're a whale. Boop, period. And I was like, I would like to be a whale.
Yeah.
But and it was not to discredit that actor and what he was going through. No, even the director and him saying that to me, because I didn't know he was going to say that day. But like I think some people have the capacity to do more.
Yeah.
But it's like, but still I think when I trade all that, I'm like, but I would have to go a completely different direction. I would be living in a countryside with my family because I want to be a family man. What's most important to me is like having a good family, like over anything. Like one of my number one goals in terms of my business is to be a man who's faithful to his wife. Because half of our industry, these men they cheat on their wives. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not doing that. That is not what's happening. So it's just very interesting. So knowing about this whale story,
So I think that like my like you and I know each other, but we don't know each other. I would say that I've only liked myself for about 3 years. For about 3 years, and I would say that the direction my life is taking me is teaching me how to be the kind of man I want to be, and we'll see. Time will tell if that turns me into a whale. Like I don't know that Tom Cruise on The Outsiders knew that he was going to become a whale. You know, like I think so. And the same thing for you. I would say that like I can see that.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, of course I can. And I think that by the time you get there, like this idea of what I trade.
Yeah.
I think by the time you get there, and maybe who knows, by the time I get there, like whatever, I think that you will be equipped for whatever you become because you're so present in your life and you're so like you are learning. You talked about this yesterday, and it stuck with me. You think a lot about the kind of man you want to be. Mm-hmm. It's a rare quality. It's a rare quality, especially in people in our industry. Yeah. We're so often thinking about the type of people we want to play, the things we want to do. Yeah. And what's weird, I find, like in my life, I spent a lot of my life, the parts of my life where I didn't like myself that much. It's because I was like constantly chasing. I was waiting for my real life to begin. But I was getting the things that I wanted. Like I look at my IMDb and I'm like, oh, well, I had it for like, a long time. Yeah. But you couldn't convince me that I did because I was never present with myself. I was only like trying to grab and grab and grab. And And I think that caused me to not ever really sit and be like, well, what am I in all of that? I never considered myself because it was never about me.
Yeah.
And as a result, the past 3 years, I've thought a lot more about, well, what kind of man do I want to be?
Yeah.
And you're way ahead of the game, man. Like I'm 40, you're way ahead of the game to be where you are and to be really considering that and to have that matter to you as much as it does.
I think that
I think you're gonna be just fine if you end up a whale.
It's the challenges because like the relationships, I think through time have taught me how to be like my mother, my father, my family. I've learned certain things like in relationships. I've learned I learned how other people view how much I work, and for years of time and like watching how like that destroyed relationships. Like my love for this thing that we do is well, beyond love. It's this obsession of this thing and like constantly beating at it. And through years, I've been able to track like how much better I've gotten because it would be the same complaints, same every interaction I would have, and then like I would like to go okay, in by the time I get married, I would like my wife not to always. I would like to not hear her say, all you talk about is acting, or all you talk about is this, or all you talk about is that. I would like to hopefully at that point be like, okay, I've gotten certain things. I've gotten like things that matter. I'm able to like, I know what matters. I know the order of things and how they should matter. Like my relationship, again, since we talked about faith, like my relationship with God is super important. And I've learned that like, my acting career has like taken its place over that in a lot of cases. And I go, all right, great. So now my job is to go, all right, let me make sure that I constantly like put God at like the forefront, because then I don't got to worry about it. My boy he go figure it out for me. So it's not much that I actually have to do once I let go. So
right.
I find that just even through friends, like some of my great friends have taught me how to be a better man through the mistakes that they've made, or through their experiences, or through like just listening to people who deserve to be listened to. And I go, all right, like, because I think all those things do. If I could get enough of those things down now, then by when it's whale day, then hopefully I have a much better grip on how to deal, not crumble at the same time. Because I think all that it destroys people. I'm like, I don't want that.
I get that. Yeah, it can destroy people. It's funny watching you talk about all of that and having this conversation. This is why you asked me yesterday why I started a podcast. I'm like, this is the reason, and it's talking about felicity and being able to speed run getting to know somebody.
Yeah.
I watch you talk about these things, and we've been having this conversation for like an hour 15 minutes, hour and a half, or whatever it is. And though all of this has happened under the umbrella of acting, like I've watched you talk about almost everything but like acting. And so I as somebody who like obviously I'm a fan of yours. I wish the absolute best for you. Like I think you may be further down that road than you think you are. Like
maybe,
and
maybe.
And that's like
Yeah.
these things clearly matter to you. Like
Yeah.
your development as a person that you have thought about. Because I've been there, this where all I do for an entire year is talk about work, and then Bree's like, Doug,
Yeah.
oh, I need to balance,
Yeah.
And,
You need that.
yeah, for sure.
We need that.
And because I become really monomaniacally focused, but the fact that you're so aware of it already, I mean, like I think.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I suppose I'm not there. I'm not there your whole life, but
Sometimes.
But it's,
I'm better than I was though.
Sure, me too.
I can always look back and say, all right, cool. I know how I was 2 years ago. All right, cool, I'm better than that now. Next year I'll be better.
Yeah.
And next year I'll be better. But I'll always care. But just like, how do I balance how do I cut this pie? And like, what's important at this very moment in time? How do I compartmentalize this at this? And go like, hey, is it cool if I do this? Or even when I have children one day like that, I would never want them to feel like, oh, let me hit you with something just deep, bro.
Give it to me. Let's go.
The thing about being the thing that I want to be is that like we talk about like you talked about like the trading of problems And I think about every actor that I greatly admire. And I would use a Denzel for an example, like his relationship to his children, I'm sure isn't whatever it is. I'm not going to speak on that.
Right.
But the time that he gets a chance to spend with them is evidenced that he could not have been there. Why? Because he was making some of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
So in that, I remember watching, and I went like, I tracked, and it was like in a group of years, he was doing 2 to 3 movies a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, and that's not when they were doing movies that were just 2 months. Like we got up and do a movie like that. Movies were shooting 6 months. These big movies, and I'm like, how? And it. And watching interviews, he like always champions his wife for like raising his children, and like he always says like, oh, my wife, she did this, she did that, and then watching his children like become like watching John David Washington become a star in his own right.
Hell of an actor too.
Yeah, and speak on like his mother raising him and his father raising him as well. But he talked about like his dad doing movies, and his mom was there every day, and I'm like, okay, it would be ignorant of me not to think about the reality of the things that I want. And not think about like, all right, there's gonna be the other side of like that thing that you want, and how do you figure that out? Like, not figure it all out now, but get an idea. Like Will Smith said, he was like one of the greatest things I've ever heard. He's like, he tries to make decisions when he's not emotional about it. He was like, if it's the night of the Oscars and I'm up for
It's the night of the Oscars.
He said this before he had an Oscar. He was like, this is probably like 15 years ago. He was like, if it's the night of the Oscars and my daughter is sick when Willow was really young, it's funny I even know his daughter's name.
I did a movie with her.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, solid.
Yeah.
He's like, if my daughter gets sick, he's like, if in that moment I have to make a decision, then there's a part of me that will go to that award show to get an award or to go whatever. But there's a part of me like, if I make the decision beforehand to know that I will honor my daughter, I don't have to make it in the moment when emotions are involved. I made it already as to when I was clear-headed. And I just believe in that as of now, that if I make decisions on things, when I first started my acting career, my mom said, what roles will you not play?
Right.
And I have a list of things that I will not do on camera ever, period. There's no world. There's one of those things that I said I wouldn't do. There's one character that I would do, like in that space. And if that moment comes to play that one, I will honor that one. But outside of that, I will not. Certain things with kids, like certain things I will never touch.
Yeah.
But like as you play the game, roles come and it's like, oh, what about going out and mistreating children to this degree? I will not. Like that.
Right.
That is not. Johnny Blow could do that. Patrick Walker not touch it. This is not what I can't stand behind that story. Even if the character does get his whatever at the end, I'm like,
it's just not. It's not right for you.
It's in my wheelhouse.
It's interesting too, though, because I've thought about this. So one.
Yeah. What do you talk to me?
I think what you're doing is you're putting systems in place.
Yeah.
Like so that as you like you do this when you're building a business, right? You create, well, this is how this workflow happens. Mm-hmm. And you want it to be, in place when you're getting 10 orders a week, so that when you're getting 150 orders a day, the system is like stress tested and just like everybody can just handle it.
Yes.
It's like you're future proofing your life as it elevates.
Yes.
As best as you can, like understanding that like at the end of the day, you can only prepare for so many eventualities. Like
right.
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Isn't that Tyson?
Yeah, it was Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And so like to me that makes sense, but it's also like I often think about like the versions of myself that are driving the bus, right? Like when I go to set, like sometimes I'm scared. I'm like worried that I'm not like the cool kid. I'm worried that like because of course like I'm because there was a version of me who grew up in a small town who went into the arts early and was mercilessly made fun of for it and felt really uncool and I'm like, oh, I start to feel that guy and I'm like, oh, hey, dude, like I'm really sorry that happened to you, but 40-year-old me needs to be driving this bus right now, not you. Like, so sit, chill, like learn the lessons of this. Like, and sometimes that little guy does need to drive the bus. Like sometimes that's required, but like in general, it's like so sometimes when I bring it up because like in making those lists of things that I'll never do or like whatever, right? Like sometimes I will make decisions about my life, but then I'm like, I have to remember the guy who made those decisions knew a whole lot less than me now.
Fair.
And so it's like,
Fair.
it's like trust but validate.
Yes.
You know, like go back and reevaluate every now and then, rather than living your life to a code of, you know, because like if I'm living the life of the code of like, I don't know, mid-20s to like late 20s, Doug, it's like, I don't know, my code was just like, hey, bourbon's great, right? You know, like it's like, well, I don't want to be, you know, like, oh, I feel something that's good, oh, I should drink. I feel something that's bad, oh, I should drink. You know, like that guy took the edge off of every moment of his life. That was his modus operandus, and he would have died on the hill. That's the coping mechanism, right? So it's like, as we become more of who we are, I do think I think it's important to have those decisions made, and I also think it's important to go back and be like, does all of this track with my value system now?
Yeah.
Almost like you were talking about, like the microcosm of the homework. I read the script and these are all the things that I want to do. Cool. And then you're like, oh, but let me get the story.
Yeah.
And oh, I'm actually only going to pull a couple of those things because those all serve the story.
Right.
You know, and the other ones fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
Because the more evolved version of you went back and reevaluated.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? But that's me anyway. Sorry, I
No,
don't want to be
that.
talking about your life.
But also says it speaks to as to who you are. Like if I can look back and go, everything that I said I wouldn't do, I'm like, oh yeah, it is in terms of morally, in terms of my roles. I think about it the exact same today as I did when I was 18. But it shows that like, all right, when I was there, I was all right, you know. You weren't that off. Some stuff is like, actually, no, because there's only like maybe 3 or 4 types of roles that I wouldn't play. Yeah. That's all just off of morality and like
these are value system things, like truisms.
Yeah, like kids, like I will never, never on this podcast, I will never. You'll never see me out there like doing that, beating no kids up or like do anything. No. You're gonna see me saving kids. Come here, kid. Hey, look, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be good in this world. I will only. Because children are the future, but whatever.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah.
I tend to end the podcast always with the same question, and I'm fascinated to get your answer to it if you're cool with it.
Yeah.
It's if you could go back in time to just starting out, Patrick, and give one piece of advice.
Just starting out, Patrick?
Yeah.
Acting.
Like acting, or like wherever you like view yourself as the guy who was like at the beginning of his life, his pursuit of the arts. If you could give him one piece of advice, what would it be?
It's funny with that question. I always say I would give him no advice.
That's a great answer, though.
Because he probably wouldn't get here if I gave him any advice.
Yeah.
But let me think of something I would give him for the sake of the question.
Assuming that he would take it, you know, or he might just be like, "Fuck you, future Patrick. I'm living my life myself. That's fine."
He would listen. He for sure would listen. I think I would tell him. Rephrase the question one more time. Give me just a different phrasing of this.
So if you think about right now, like the youngest version of you who is just like falling in love with acting, right? If you could go
that first moment I was telling you about. If I go back to
if you go back to it was a church play, right?
Yeah.
If you could go back, and here's the thing, even if it's just like, buddy, keep doing you, but like, what do you think that little guy needed to hear, or what would have like helped him in that moment? And I can tell you mine if that.
Okay, tell me.
So I would go back and say, and I don't think you'd understand this. I think of like early 20s, Doug. Like you're worthy of love removed from achievement. Because I didn't feel like I was worth anything unless I was accomplishing something. You know, and if I could have learned that lesson a little younger, I would have done less damage to myself and others.
There. I would probably say, I think I'm trying to think of deep things. I'm like, man, boy, you're gonna be all right. Like, it just.
But that's good.
I think but I think I'll tell you, as we land this plane.
Yeah.
I think that Patrick only knows because God already showed me things. So there is no. I went to the Academy Awards when I was in 2015. I won like a Student Academy Award thing. I knew it already. I already saw it, but that's because God told me it. I wrote it down. I could have bet anybody $1 million I would have did it. I would have bet my life that I would have done it when I was young. Didn't know how. I did it when I was 22. And somehow, but that's because it was something that God told me that lived in my brain that I just believed. So there's things that he's told me already that Patrick coming back to Patrick, future Patrick going to young Patrick to tell him what young Patrick would be like, oh, God already told me. Like, you good? So there is, because I believe in God so much, there is no version of the world where, whew, that's fire. That nobody could say anything as to like what this thing is going to be, because I know what it's going to be.
That's great.
Boom, like that.
There you go.
I couldn't advise him. He know what it is already.
Well, and this is like, that's so unique to you, man.
I might be like, F you, Patrick. I don't need it.
But that's a great, like, that's a great thing. And the fact that you are so tuned into that voice, like God's voice. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I might say something about people, like just like be mindful of your speech, like how that might be an advice I would give.
How your speech affects people.
Yeah, like because I come from the South, we talk about things differently. I might be like, watch the things that you say a little bit closer, and like just gauge the conversation that you have a little bit more. That's what I would say.
Right.
Because he might have been a little wild with saying certain things or something. I'm like, you ain't gotta say everything. Keep some of the stuff in your pocket. You don't gotta say everything. Like, you ain't gotta show people how confident. You can be confident over there in the corner to yourself.
Yeah.
Keep some stuff in the chamber. Don't share everything. Keep it to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I've been really looking forward to talking to you like this, and it didn't disappoint. So thank you for taking the time.
Of course.
I so appreciate it.
Of course,
I appreciate you. Every chance I get to work with you, it lights me up. And getting to have this conversation, get to know you a little better, means a lot to me.
We got more.
Yeah.
We got a whole another season.
I know, it's great.
We got a whole another season.
Thank you so much.
Boom! Thank
Appreciate
you. Yeah, of course.
All right. That's it. That's all. Here we are at the end of all things. Thank you for all those who are still here at the end of this episode. I gotta say just again how grateful I am to have had Patrick be interested in coming on the show. I'm just such a big fan of his as a human being, and I found this episode to just be so informative and passionate and wonderful and really lit me up. And then I got to go after recording this and work with him for a couple of weeks on a couple of episodes, which was just so great. Anyway. This is nice. It's really nice. And it's nice that you're here. And I really appreciate the support of the pod. If you have not already, please do click like and subscribe. Click the like button, man, it makes a big difference. Comment if you really dug this episode wherever you are. If you're here on Apple or Spotify, click the little 3-dot thing, rate the podcast. That, like, I know it's insane how friggin' gate-kept rating podcasts is, because it's not intuitive. But if you can do it, it makes a big difference, helps us spread the show. I think you're all great. That's what's true. Anybody here who's listening to this is freaking great. So can't wait for the next one. Looking forward to seeing you there. Again, if you're new here, we drop these every 2 weeks. Super cool. In the meantime, go out there. Go live your lives. Go be people.